Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, where you get the most important news and stories from around the world every day. Subscribe my channel and click the bell icon to stay informed. Global headlines erupted. Manila's gambit shakes Beijing. U.S. Admiral warns it's too late to stop the Philippines. The source? Retired U.S. Admiral Philip Davidson, who, at a security forum in Honolulu, declared the Philippines had triggered an irreversible shift in Asia. Davidson wasn't talking about military might. He was talking about a new kind of power, international law, digital savvy, and modern diplomacy. For decades, Asia's story was written by giants like China and Japan. The Philippines, often overlooked, was now rewriting the script. Davidson's warning wasn't a prediction, it was a reality already unfolding. Manila's strategic moves, once seen as minor, had created a seismic shift. This was a national awakening, the Philippines leveraging democracy, language, and location to challenge the old order. The bombshell? The Philippines had already changed Asia. Major powers scrambled to reassess. The US saw a pivotal partner, China faced a persistent challenge, and Southeast Asia found a new playbook. Davidson's words were a wake-up call. A new force had quietly emerged, and the world was only just noticing. The Philippines had turned its perceived weaknesses into strengths. The region's future would never be the same. The clock, as Davidson put it, could not be turned back. To grasp this revolution, you must understand the Philippines, a nation at the crossroads of global trade with a booming, youthful population. Over 115 million strong, it's one of Asia's youngest countries, fueling a society that's quick to adapt and innovate. Centuries of Spanish and American influence created a unique blend, Asian at heart, but fluent in Western norms and language. This cultural fluency is a diplomatic superpower, letting the Philippines bridge east and west with ease. For years, domestic challenges like poverty and corruption overshadowed its potential. But a new, globally aware generation was rising, connected by social media and inspired by overseas workers bringing home fresh ideas. The old narrative of victimhood faded as Filipinos asked, "What if our overlooked traits are our greatest strengths?" This awakening wasn't sudden, it was a gradual, collective realization. The diaspora sent back not just money, but a global perspective. Social media gave ordinary citizens a voice, fueling a new sense of agency. A direct threat to sovereignty would soon test and reveal this newfound strength. The Philippines was waking up and the world was about to notice. The archipelago's quiet revolution was gathering force. The South China Sea became the flashpoint. The South China Sea became the flashpoint. The South China Sea became the flashpoint. China's sweeping claims and militarization threatened the Philippines' sovereignty and future. Outmatched militarily, Manila made a bold move. It took the fight to court. In 2013, the Philippines filed a case against China under UNCLOS, shifting the battlefield from the sea to international law. The strategy challenged China's claims legally, not militarily. China refused to participate, dismissed the tribunal, and tried to pressure Manila with propaganda and economic threats. But the Philippines stood firm, building a meticulous legal case. In July 2016, the Hague Tribunal delivered a stunning victory. China's 9-dash line had no legal basis, and Beijing had violated Philippine rights. This was a landmark for international law. A small nation had won against a superpower. The world took notice. David had beaten Goliath, not with force, but with law. The challenge now? Enforcing a ruling against a defiant China. The Philippines had set a precedent for the region. The legal win was a turning point, but the real battle was just beginning. The world watched to see what Manila would do next. The Philippines had changed the rules of engagement. The South China Sea dispute was now a global test of order. The quiet revolution had found its voice. The Hague victory was powerful, but meaningless if ignored. China tried to bury the story, but the Philippines fought back online. Millions of Filipinos became digital ambassadors, turning legal jargon into viral hashtags like #ChecksIt and WestPHC. Infographics, memes, and videos made the case accessible worldwide. This wasn't a government campaign, it was a grassroots movement fueled by national pride. The digital wave bypassed censors, drawing global media and think tanks into the conversation. The world saw a small nation standing up for justice, framing China as a bully. Radical transparency became the strategy. Every act of Chinese aggression was documented and shared in real time. High-res photos and tracking data exposed Beijing's actions, making denial impossible. The Philippines won the information war, one post and hashtag at a time. The global court of public opinion sided with Manila. The quiet revolution had gone viral. With legal and public support, the Philippines began a masterful diplomatic balancing act. Confrontation with China was risky. Abandoning the U.S. alliance was equally dangerous. Manila chose a third path: pragmatic flexibility, shifting its stance to maximize leverage. One administration courted China for investment, de-escalating tensions without surrendering legal claims. This reminded the U.S. not to take the alliance for granted, prompting stronger security guarantees. A new administration swung back, invoking the Hague ruling and deepening U.S. military ties. Joint exercises and expanded U.S. access to bases followed, but economic ties with China remained. The Philippines became both a security partner to the U.S. and an economic partner to China. Beyond the superpowers, Manila built coalitions with Japan, Australia, and the EU, framing the South China Sea as a global issue. This network of support ensured the Philippines was never isolated. The Highwire Act gave Manila unprecedented autonomy. The world watched as the Philippines balanced giants and shaped the new order. The Quiet Revolution was now a diplomatic art form. While geopolitics grabbed headlines, another revolution transformed the Philippines from within. Overseas Filipino workers, over 10 million strong, sent home billions, fueling the economy and bringing back global skills and ideas. Their reputation for skill and English fluency attracted global companies, sparking a BPO boom. The BPO sector created over 1 million jobs, building a new urban middle class and transforming city skylines. This services-led growth became a cornerstone of the economy, second only to remittances. The digital leap was next. With some of the world's highest social media usage, the Philippines became a hub for digital innovation. Startups in fintech, e-commerce, and digital services flourished. Mobile payments and digital banks brought financial access to millions. The digital transformation rewired the economy, making it more efficient and inclusive. The Philippines was no longer just a source of labor, it was a global hub for talent and technology. The Quiet Revolution was now digital. The nation was ready for the 21st century. For decades, Asia's model was the tiger, export-driven top-down manufacturing powerhouses. The Philippines is charting a new course, a services-led, people-powered rise. Its strength isn't in factories, but in communication, problem-solving, and customer service. The BPO industry exports talent, not goods, relying on education and digital infrastructure. A young, English-speaking, tech-savvy population is its unique advantage. While neighbors face aging populations, the Philippines enjoys a demographic dividend. Its cultural fluency lets it serve global markets with ease. The result, a new tiger cub, agile, service-oriented, and digitally integrated. The Philippines is becoming the world's back office and creative studio. This quieter path is no less transformative. Other nations may soon follow this new paradigm. The Quiet Revolution is a model for Asia's future. At the heart of the Philippines' rise is its youth, median age just 25. While neighbors age, the Philippines brims with energy, ambition, and optimism. This generation is the most educated, connected, and globally minded in the nation's history. Tech-savvy and creative, they're building startups, driving digital campaigns, and powering the BPO industry. They're also reshaping politics, more engaged, vocal, and demanding of transparency and reform. Social media is their tool for organizing, protesting, and holding leaders accountable. They defended the Hague ruling online and lead movements for good governance and human rights. Their idealism is matched by pragmatism. As other countries' workforces shrink, the Philippines' youth will fuel regional growth. They're poised to become Asia's leaders and innovators. This is the unstoppable force Admiral Davidson warned of. The Quiet Revolution is powered by young changemakers. The Philippines' ascent is remarkable, but the path is perilous. Corruption and weak governance remain persistent threats, sapping resources and trust. Inequality is stark. Urban prosperity masks rural poverty and limited access to education and healthcare. Bridging this divide is essential for sustainable growth. Nature is another challenge. Typhoons, earthquakes, and climate change test the nation's resilience. Building disaster-resistant infrastructure is a constant struggle. Geopolitically, balancing the US and China is a high-stakes game. One misstep could have dire consequences. Yet resilience is the Philippines' greatest strength, forged through centuries of adversity. The nation has shown it can adapt, endure, and innovate. Admiral Davidson's warning is clear: the Philippines' rise is inevitable. The question is not if, but how it will shape Asia's future. The Quiet Revolution is now impossible to ignore. The world is watching.